Hello everyone, welcome back to Channel Dad at the Movies, and here we have some more information about Captain Marvel 2. This is an article I came across a couple weeks ago, and just finally getting around to it. And so for all of the Brie Larson fans and apologists out there, I find this a very interesting article and a very interesting headline. Now, gotta take it all with a grain of salt. A lot of it's speculation about exactly what's going to be Captain Marvel 2. We've had different reports on who's even writing it and who's directing it, and some of them are contradictory, and some are saying what and this and that, and then we still have that silly petition out there. Despite the character solo movie earning over $1 billion at the box office and delivering a solid origin story for one of the MCU's major additions, one that looks set to be a focal point of the franchise throughout Phase 4 and beyond, the casting of Brie Larson has never been a universally popular decision. Larson may be an Academy Award winning actress and one of Hollywood's preeminent young stars. And she's 30, so I guess she's getting up there. But a vocal section of fans have been reported on board with having her as the... have never been completely on board. It would really help if I read what was there. In the build-up to the release of Captain Marvel, some people were even actively trying to sabotage the movie's critical consciousness. While more than one petition has been launched in an attempt to remove. Okay, so I don't care about the petitions. Obviously, a studio as powerful as Marvel is never going to cave into pressure. Okay, so this is just some more backpedaling and stuff. Our sources are ones who told us that so we've had rumors about Thor, possibly the the female Thor, whether it's Jane, whether it's someone else being in here. There's been all kinds of speculation about. Is it a team up? Are we going to get Spider-Man? Are we going to get appearances? Even in some of the solo films, we had appearances by others. Sometimes they were just appearances. Sometimes they were participant. So live action remake of Bambi being in development last year, and that John Cena is playing Vin Diesel's brother in Fast and Furious 9. Well, who cares about that? Kevin Feige is a fan of, some execs over at Marvel still agree with the fans and feel that she's a little weak and wooden in the role. Again, I don't know how much that's hurt. If you look at her, those videos that we've covered before with her in real life, and then you look at her in Kong Skull Island, I wonder how much of that is the director saying, be stoic, be this, be that. I mean, look at Samuel L. Jackson in the prequels. He is wooden as a board, yet you look at him in other movies and he's extremely charismatic, and he's that way in real life. From what we understand, this is one of the reasons why Marvel's adapting the Secret Invasion storyline and the follow-up. I think this is a course correction. I think they screwed up making the Skrulls refugees, and maybe what they're going to do is play off of that and say, okay, it's refugee, but it's a secret invasion, which I think will do well. I think it's a very interesting twist on the whole thing, and why the film will feature so many other prominent characters, both new and established. I think part of this too is the MCU has gotten to the point where it's really tough to have standalone movies. We've had so many interweaving movies, even with Ant-Man and the Wasp. I forget which one it was when Wasp went, and Falcon was chasing him and stuff. So you have some stuff that kind of crossbreeds, and he was stealing stuff from the Avengers. Both new and established. This was an effort to offset any backlash toward Larson. Yeah, maybe. I think it also starts to, once these start to interweave, they really need to stay that way. If you've been keeping up with the news, everyone from Nova to Spider-Man and even Jessica Jones has been rumored for a role in the sequel. Yeah, because, I think they don't know what they want to do with Captain Marvel 2. I really believe Captain Marvel 2 is going to be in Phase 5. I think Phase 4 is going to be very short. Because technically the end of Phase 3, I think, was one of the Spider-Man movies. I don't think it was technically Endgame. But also say that right now Captain Marvel is being pitched as a mini Avengers movie, kind of like Civil War. And again, that's to give Larson some support that she doesn't need to carry the film by herself. We can agree on, well, maybe we can debate whether Brie Larson is a really good actress or not, but I think part of it too is the character Captain Marvel is not very strong. Even in the comic books, it's been rebooted many times over the decades, been rebooted a lot of times recently. The sales are falling. I think it's like a character no one really knows what to do with, and I think that's a big part of the problem here. This makes sense too, as the MCU has always been about fan service and trying to stop the negative reaction to arguably their biggest standalone heroine. And this is the thing too. She's supposed to be carrying the burden here. So this is a very short article once you get to the Captain Marvel stuff. So let's look at some comments really quickly here. The original Captain Marvel was a man. I'm tired of, but that was even in the 80s, dude, she was changed to a black woman in the 80s. So this isn't anything new. We're talking 30 years ago. Okay. I don't know if you replace Brie Larson because maybe, just needs a decent script. Gender can't compete with a great storyline and script. I agree with that. Without those, Gal Gadot wouldn't be Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was an okay script. I still think Gal is a terrible choice for Wonder Woman. She's gorgeous. She can't act very much, but to me, she's not Wonder Woman. I'm a 65-year-old Marvel fan from the comic book days. Marvel was male, not a woman feminist, a deadpan, emotionless, cold. She was miscast or misdirected and needs help, or for her to be replaced. My sons and I rated the movie a 5 because of Larson, and we will not watch the next installment unless, I guess it's a 5 out of 10. Okay, I don't think 5 out of 5. Marvel, and I think it's actually, I thought it was spelled with 2 L's, but the Marvel character, Captain and Miss, has been male, has been an alien, has been female a couple different times, been a black female. Again, you go back, I think it goes back in the 60s or 70s, at least over 40, if not 50 years. The Marvel character has just been something no one knows to do with. I think the original, this is DC and Marvel. DC lost the rights to the original Captain Marvel and have to call him Shazam. That character actually is better, and has even back, we had a TV show back in the 70s, and but the writing even in the comics has been better. And I think that's, again, the biggest problem is this is not a dynamic character that has been well loved for decades. We've had horrible Superman movies of late too. We've had that rebooted several times, but again, it was a very good iconic character that they've miscast and done poor story adaptations for movies. But the character itself has been well loved for decades, just like Batman, Wonder Woman. The Flash has been around a while. Green Lantern is another one that they can't get right. Green Arrow. Iron Man was a character that was somewhat popular that Robert Downey Jr. really made his own. The Hulk has been a character that people have liked for decades, but Captain Marvel hasn't been. And I think that's 90% of the problem here. What's wrong with the occasional fan that they're not skin in the game and aware of a character history, canon or lore? If Marvel was trying to be diverse as it was with Carol Danvers, we'd not have their Captain Marvel. It should have been Monica Rambeau. I agree, though. I think the Monica Rambeau incarnation is the most popular, but even then, it didn't last very long. Marvel knew that and had her as a child as a COA move. Then, of course, Larson put on her SJW. Yeah, and I will say, I can't excuse her bantering and things like that. Is that it? Oh, there's no more. Again, there was also this fear of missing out with the first movie, which I think Marvel is really, really trying to figure out what to do post Endgame. The next 2 years are going to really be telling if they can continue something, but I think we're still going to have a big deflation of the box office. They're going to have to pull back expectations. They're going to have to pull back the budgets. This makes me realize how foolish this site is. So, news article has absolute grasp of grammar. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, let's leave a few more comments and then we'll just call it a day. Whether or not this rumor is true, it would be a great idea. Keep Brie around for the millions of fans who liked her, but surround her with a solid, diverse. I don't know. It necessarily has to be a diverse ensemble. How about you write a good script first? If you have a good script, I think Brie is more capable of carrying the movie. But if you have a bad script, she can't. And again, if you have directors that are telling her to just stand there with zero expression, I'm not blaming the actor for that. That's really a director. Again, we'll go back to the prequels and Samuel L. Jackson. Captain Marvel, no, Miss Marvel is. For the last 8 years in the comics, Carol Danvers, a white woman with blonde hair, has been Captain Marvel and has numerous volumes of comics crossover story, and has been rebooted 10 times, something like that, something crazy. In the 80s, when Captain Marvel was presumed dead, she took his name and used it very briefly. Had been introduced 15 years ago. It's okay. Sidekick, Miss Marvel. That's why she was named Miss Marvel. They had a close relationship, like Batman and Batgirl. She's been the next few decades being groomed for the title Captain Marvel. You can't say next few decades when it's just 15 years ago. They obviously already grooming Monica Rambeau in the movies. Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to see. I don't know if we're going to have Monica Rambeau be a second Captain Marvel. This is several of the rumors that Rogue may show up in Captain Marvel 2, especially perhaps at the end, maybe in the post-credit scene or right at the end, somewhat anticlimactic in it. They save the day. Rogue shows up, takes her powers, and I think Monica could play in a role in getting those back. So about her longer than YouTubers has been manipulating her words for views. Yeah, I haven't been manipulating any of her words. So we'll see. I don't know if Marvel reportedly thinks, they say that nowhere in here does it say Marvel thinks that she needs, but again, start with a good script. Let's just start there. Forget everything else. Get a good script, and then we'll go forward. And, mediocre to good actors can be do very well with a very good script. A great actor can actually, own it, which is, I think that Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man and Chris Evans as Captain America have really felt like the only two that have truly owned their role. I think, Black Widow has been a bit of kind of a hit or miss with what's her name? Hawkeye is a miscast. I don't like, what's his name is the Hulk. And Chris Hemsworth is okay as Thor, but he's got the wrong accent. And he should have more Norwegian accent, Norse accent than he does. I mean, he's a big guy. He's got the blonde hair, but he has the wrong accent. And like I've even said, Gal feels miscast as Wonder Woman. Ben Affleck as Batman was not a good fit. In Superman, Cavill was decent as Superman, but we've had some crappy Superman. So the last several years. So I don't know. But like I said, I think those are the only two that really own their roles. We'll see what happens going forward. So what do you think? Do you think Captain Marvel is going to have some support, not have some support? And I think she's going to have some support because I think the MCU movies are going to be a little bit more intertwined than they've been in the past because Endgame really was the big flash. And now it's just going to be a little bit of just kind of warm embers. So, but anyway, I'm Dad Bryon Lape, and at least that's the way I read it. Goodbye. All right, can I hear it? Can I hear me? See, why is that scratching? All right, I think it's that. I only hear it when I move the volume control. 3, 2, 1.